What's up, YouTube? This is Defcon 3 Security coming at you from somewhere here on Spaceship Earth. So today's topic is, what did I call that? I think I'm going to call it the best security jobs. No, actually, I'm going to call it security jobs for a college student. How's that sound? But it's basically going to talk about some of the best security jobs. So a couple days ago, they had me... they switched me up a little bit. They put me on another post. They put me on a marijuana farm. All right. Man, that job was hard. So I show up. The first thing I notice is there is no trees anywhere. So it's a farm, right? So I'm sitting in my vehicle. It was 90-something degrees with this gear on. You've got two options, right? And it was like a 15-hour shift. So I've got two options. I can let my air conditioner run until it gets dark, but that would be bad on my vehicle and that would waste my gas. The other option is just to tough it out. And that's pretty much what I did. So I got there and it was really hot, right? Then the smell. These marijuana plants, I would say they're about 5 feet tall right now. And man, the smell is strong. And we're talking tens and tens of thousands of plants. So downwind, it was insane. I wanted to close my window so that I don't smell it. You know, I know some of you guys are going to say, oh, I love the smell of weed. Yeah, well, if you smell anything for too long, it starts to give you a headache, or it can make you a little, you know, nauseous. It could be the smell of chocolate, you name it, right? In this case, I wanted to roll up my window, but then it was so hot outside. I'm like, I can't. I got to like let the breeze go through. So it was kind of a lose-lose situation. So you got the heat, you got the smell, right? Come nighttime, some new guys came in and they were like, oh yeah, did you hear about yesterday? We had to shoot some warning shots. Some guys were coming over the fence. They had some guns. And then they're like, oh yeah. And then 3 days ago, same thing, man. Yeah, oh yeah, that's right. We had like 5 guys over there near the aqueduct, and then this, that, and the other. And I'm thinking, damn, dude, this place is this is heavy duty, man. So, you know, you got that element of, wow, something could actually happen. So they put me out there in the field, in my car. This car is very capable. This truck is a Toyota FJ Cruiser. It's very capable, but I don't like driving this thing off-road, especially for a 15-hour shift, especially on my bill, right? I'm paying for gas. So, yeah, man, it sucked. And then the guy that was running the show, you know, we've got our company and then we've got some sort of head of security. Man, that guy has some kooky ideas, like flash your lights every 15 minutes, make sure you do the... I mean, you get it, man. It was just so many weird things they wanted you to do. And I'm thinking, dude, I'm not doing any of that nonsense. Well, sure enough, he's on an ATV. He drives around with his lights off. You can't even hear him if he snuck up on you. And he did sneak up quite a few times. When I say quite a few times, no exaggeration if I said he snuck up on me about 40 times on that shift. And, you know, fortunately, I wasn't asleep. I was flashing a light every 15 minutes. But he did call me out a few times. Hey, man, you've been flashing the lights, right? And I'm like, yeah, I did, probably 20 minutes ago. Yeah, let's do it every 15 minutes. And I'm thinking, damn, dude. So, there's no bathrooms out there, right? The bathroom is wherever you can go. So, it's just one of those things where I'm like, man, this is such a transition from where I am right now on this post to there. It was tough, man. Just constant moving, a constant threat of something happening, smell, wind, elements, lack of restroom, poor management, right? And I talked to my boss, and he's an understanding guy, and I told him, hey, man, this is not for me, you know. And I was kind of scared to say that because as a guard, as an employee, you never want to tell your boss, yeah, I can't do it. But his response was like, no, man, I get it. It's not for everybody. I'll put you back on your other post, which is where I am now. I'm currently at a hospital. I basically sit in the parking lot and I wait for something to happen, which rarely does. You know, what I'm doing now, is one of the better security jobs. What I was doing out in the field, not so much. They both pay the same amount of money, but one requires a lot more of you than the other. I've had jobs where they put me in a retail store that had known violent robberies, really bad area. And I've told people this, and they thought I was exaggerating until I started uploading videos on my body cam. And I would tell people, hey man, at this location, I get about 10 incidences per day, minimum. And when I say incidences, I mean catching somebody stealing, having somebody mouth off, having somebody leave the store. You gotta go, man, you gotta go. 10 times a day. 50 times a day I deal with nonsense, like somebody giving me a bad look or kids screaming, but that's not all that difficult. 5 times a day, I would get loud with somebody. 2 times a day, I would get into an argument. And at least once a day, I'd have a major incident. And when I say major incident, that means taser comes out, somebody threatening to kill you. It was every single day there. Every day, at least one incident. And 5 arguments, for sure. And I got paid the same. Matter of fact, I got paid way less than I'm making at this company doing this right here. I had to stand up at that job. Dude, I had to stand up 8 hours a day. It was not a sitting post. And for you guys that are new in this industry, a non-sitting post means that you've got to stand up. You can't sit down. They want you standing there like this, like a statue. And then every time somebody comes in, how you doing? How you doing? You can go that way. Restroom's there. Customer service is there. You kind of stand there. And you get paid X amount an hour. And it sucks, man. At the end of the day, I don't care how good your shoes are, how light your gear is, how strong you are. When you stand up 8 hours a day, it wears you out, man. It burns you out. I started getting nerve damage in my feet from the compression of my body. My lower back would start hurting. Once that started hurting, it would just get worse and worse. I never had any time to relax. Sometimes I'd have a 3-day stretch where I wasn't working, and I'm like, oh God, my back's just starting to feel better, but guess what? I got to go to work the next day. It's like, man, I wish I just had like 2 weeks to just recuperate. And literally at night, when I would drop on the bed, I just remember thinking, oh my gosh, this feels so good. Oh, I can feel the pain just slowly easing away. And then that next day, I'm back at work and it starts all over. Or during my lunch break at that standing post, I remember going into the break room and like going like, oh God, feeling like an old man, sit down, pull up a chair and kick my feet on top of that and be like, wow, I've got 30 minutes to elevate my legs. And then I'd go back out there and be like, wow, 4 more hours of standing up before I can take another break. You know, and I got paid less. Not an ideal job, man. And then there's this job, right? Where I sit here. I get paid more than that last job. I've got more freedoms. I take a lunch when I want to. I don't have to say to the management, hey, I'm going to go take my 30-minute break. Oh, you want me to stay a little bit longer? Okay. What, like 4 o'clock? Okay. You know, that would be a typical conversation at the other post, the other job. Here it's like, you know what? I think I'm going to go get something to eat. What do I want to eat? Let's go online and see what's available. Or, oh, I packed my lunch. You know, right now I could just recline my seat. Whew, that's a lot of sunlight, but you get it, right? Kick back, right? So it's important when you look for a security job that you find something that pays you well, but also doesn't beat you up at the end of the day. I know guys that are making $30 an hour doing what I do, making more than me. How do they get those jobs? Well, they know their worth. They know their value. Or they just held out. You know, when you're in a job, I always encourage people while you're working, regardless of how happy you are, get online. If you got free time, get online and just constantly look for a better job. Regardless of how much you like your company, look for a better job. Like right now, I was online and it was like, oh, hotel seeks independent security guard. Pay up to $32 an hour. Duties, sit in the lobby. That's it. And I'm like, 32 an hour. But the catch is, they're not a security company. They literally think that you can, well, if I had a PPO license, I could take it. But as a regular security guard, they don't understand that you can't just hire some dude off the street and have him work for you. He's got to be part of an actual company to work for you. And that company has to have a contract with you. They basically just want somebody that has a guard card to go there, but it doesn't work that way. As a guard, I can't simply just say, yeah, I'll take the job. You know, my boss will say, hey, man, what are you doing? Oh, I took a job there. No, you can't do that, man. You're going to get us in trouble. So, you know, because I would have no insurance. There'd be no liability. You know, you name it. But it's $32 an hour. If you had a PPO license, you can go and grab that and have a infinitely easier job than working in that marijuana field. You know, I was talking about it earlier, and I was saying, you know, how this would be a perfect job for a college student. Imagine this, you know, when you're in college, you work your tail off 8 hours a day to pay for your apartment or dorm or whatever you got going, your car note. You work 8 hours a day, and then you got to go to school for 3 to 4 hours a day, and then you got tons of homework to do. You have no time for yourself. And who wants to do homework when you're literally tired? You just went to school, you worked 8 hours. You're exhausted, man. Security, perfect job for a college student. I'm actually going to just make an entire video called Security Perfect for a College Student. I'm constantly changing the title of this video here. But yeah, this job, man, this would be perfect for a college student. If I was a student right now, I would literally be in my vehicle and I'd say, you know what? I'm getting paid $20 plus an hour to sit in my car, so my bills are being taken care of. And let me just study right now. I've got 12 hours. I'm on a 12-hour shift, by the way, tonight. 12 hours to just read this and commit it to memory and practice for this test. And, you know, I don't have to worry about going to work later on after homework because I am at work. So I'm at work and I'm getting studying done and getting paid for it. Perfect job for a college student. So yeah, guys, you know, think about your post. Is it hurting your body? Is it overly dangerous? Is it overly boring? If it's any of those, you might want to consider like looking for another job. Maybe even take a pay cut. You know, if I was at the farm and it paid the exact same amount of what I'm making here, I would literally take a $2 an hour pay cut to be here than there. Because after I do the math, the wear and tear on my vehicle, patrolling that place and wasting gas and the level of threat and the noise and the wind and the smoke and you name it, it's just not worth it. I'd rather make less money, be in my vehicle, chilling here, got my YouTube playing in the background, got podcasts. I'd rather do that any day than be out there. So, all right, guys, just wanted to put out a video. Might put out another one a little later. Anyways, you know, as always, the theme is know your value, know your worth, value your time, right? We don't know how much time we got, but above all, be safe.